Hey, I'm Mr. Ghost. If you love true horror stories, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. The stories you'll hear are shared by our audience from Reddit, and to keep their original essence, I read them exactly as they were written. Before we begin, let me know in the comments, where in the world are you listening from? Now, let's dive into the darkness. Hi 3 Reddit followers. I am sorry for being gone for so long. You know how life can be. Devastating. I am writing this and posting it because I need answers, and I think it is a way for me to cope, or at least that is what my therapist said. Bear with me. I am not much of a storyteller. So, about a month ago my best friend and boyfriend went about an hour southwest of where we live to visit our friend. For the sake of privacy, I will call them Colby, Vincent, and Ashley. Ashley and I grew up together. She is kind, easygoing, and a crazy-ass sense of humor. Colby is my boyfriend of almost 2 years. He is patient, protective, and honestly the best person I know. And Vincent is spunky. He walks around wearing cowboy boots. He is loyal, personable, and adventurous. Vincent and Colby are best friends, so we have all become really close. We play Xbox together, camp, get drunk, etc. Part of the way we bonded so fast and got so close was because we all share a love of the paranormal. Shocking, I know. One weekend, like many others, Colby, Ashley and I pack up in Colby's car to make the drive down to see Vincent and do our usual activities, getting drunk and ghost hunting. The town Vincent lives in is weird. I do not know how to explain it. It is just weird, stuck in a different time. Almost everyone there is old, or been there since they were born, and will never leave. It was an old mining town, and the people there share stories of their hard times working the mines, and how business boomed and crashed within years of each other. But what almost everyone shares stories of is the valley. A canyon just off the 2-lane road referred to by locals as the freeway is what the people in town call the valley. A dead-end canyon stretching no more than 15 miles. This is where all the mines were, and still are. Now, the town is dry and cold. The kind of cold that cuts through your skin and into your bone. The wind never stops. Summer, winter, spring, or fall, it is always windy, especially in the valley. The wind whips off the rock walls and roars through the dead trees. Some nights in town, the wind coming out of the valley sounds like screams. The drive to see Vincent was as boring and ugly as usual. I sleep most the ride while Colby and Ashley bullshit about politics, religion, etc. I drift off to the start of another discussion I do not care enough to be a part of. Just as quickly as I am asleep, I wake up to the sound of the wind hitting our car so hard. I fear we might fly off the road. That is how I know we have made it. We meet Vincent at his house and make up a plan for the night, the spot we want to get dinner at, and where we want to ghost hunt. It is a weekend, but in town it is dead. The hum of the neon sign outside the restaurant we come to every time we are in town is the only thing breaking the silence, except the damn wind. As we sit down and order our usual dinner, Vincent tells us that he has somewhere he wants to show us. It is just up the valley. It is called the Devil's Playhouse. Just as those words escape his lips, the waitress on her way over with our pitcher drops and shatters the whole thing. She sheepishly apologizes, sweeps it up, but stops halfway. Did I hear you say the Devil's Playhouse? Sorry, it is just I am new into town, and have heard the rumors of that place. Did you know? Vincent shoots her a look that is quick to shut her up, and she leaves. I asked him what the stories were about this place. He leans in close to us and whispers, well, as you guys know, the valley, well, actually the whole town was built for the mines. So when the miners settled here, some weird people came with them. He glances around to make sure nobody is listening and lowers his voice even more. Well, the people would take like horses, cows, even the miners' fucking pets, and take them up to their spot and slit their throats, and fucked up shit like that. They said they did it for the devil. He clears his throat and leaned back. But that is just an old rumor. Who knows what happened? But either way, the place is freaky. Ashley looks around at us in a deep voice and says, "That is what I am going to do to you guys. If you do not Venmo me for dinner." I laugh and roll my eyes. We finish dinner. Pack up in the car, mice fuck, Colby says, feeling around in his pockets. I lost my zins, can we stop at a gas station please? Vincent pulls off into a gas station that consists of one pump and a small shop. We go inside, and I am browsing around when I see Ashley bump into a tall, lanky, awkward-looking man, knocking the items in his hand to the floor. "Oh, I am so sorry," she says. The man turns around with a big smile on his face and says, "No worries, man," and picks up his car keys and a pack of cigarettes up off the floor. I watch as he walks out to the parking lot, gets in his nice brand new truck and drives away. Ashley has moved on to the next aisle when I realize I am staring. Vincent walks up next to me. "You ready?" I asked him who that man was and he says, "Lance Cornell, dude's nice as hell, he lives at the mouth of the valley. Funny enough, he owns the beer. You know, the place we had dinner at tonight." I smile, and we all walk out the gas station and load back up into the car. In the car, Colby's puts a hand on my thigh and rubs his finger against my jeans. Ashley whips her head around from the front and says, "You know what I think? I have heard of this place. Yeah, like some kids went missing hiking up here and were never seen from again." She narrows her eyes and looks right at me with a mincing glance. "Hey, stop that. She is lying to you. Nobody has gone missing." Vincent gives me a smile in the rearview mirror. The sun is just starting to go down when we get there. We are swapping scary stories the drive up. But as soon as we cross the threshold, the stories stop, and a sense of dread fills the space the stories held. Vincent drives up to a gate with a giant "No Trespassing" sign on it. Well, this is it. Now we just hike up a bit. Watch for cars too. This is like super illegal. Me and Ashley share a glance, and she smiles with her reassuring kind smile, and we start walking. Halfway up, Colby takes my hand and winks at me. He says, "How you feeling? Scared? Do not be. I will not let anything happen to you. Plus all this stuff is total bullshit, babe." He smiles and jogs up a little to catch up with the others. I stay behind. I am winded, cold and uneasy. I hear a snap of a twig behind me and whip around. Holy fuck, what was that? My friends turn around and watch as a bunny crosses the trail behind me. False alarm, sorry guys. Vincent rolls his eyes and laughs. After a short 20-minute walk, the sun has completely set in the valley, and we turn on our flashlights to see the beast of a building standing in front of us. An abandoned mining building, must have been storage or something, because the ones we drove past on the way in do not even hold a candle to this. The wind going through the windows makes it look like the building itself is shriving in the cold air of the wind. "Wow," Ashley says with a grin. "Well, come on in, mi casa." "Ace su casa," says Vincent as he stands in the doorway. All the windows and doors are gone. There is a hole in the floor that looks like it leads somewhere. But however people were getting down there has been gone for quite some time. "Dude, imagine there is just someone living down there," Ashley says, and nudges me with a smile. What the fuck? What an odd thing to say. Ashley and Colby are taking pictures on her digital camera. She carries with her everywhere. The odd thing is, the place has no graffiti. It is actually clean. No glass or anything. I say out loud, "Yeah. Well, nobody ever comes up here because, well, the cops are bored in a town like this," Vincent said, like he was reading my mind. "All right, fuckers." I say we split up. Colby says, "All right, gang. Let us look for clues." Ashley copies in a teasing voice. My heart starts to race. The building is only one floor. If you exclude the hole in the ground, just stay on the main floor and keep your light on just in case. Vincent tells us we all nod and walk our separate ways. I begin to walk around the corner of the general area we are in. I am looking around, still amazed at the cleanliness of this place. No dust, no leaves, nothing. It is wild. I turn around to see Colby right there. "Ah," he screams. I shove him away and smack his chest. "Idiot." He leans in and tries to kiss me. And as I lean into him, I hear a loud "What the hell?" Ashley sounds scared. We run over to find her looking at the ground with fear in her eyes. We pan our flashlights down to what she is looking at. A dead fucking rabbit. Fresh bright red blood pouring out of the hole in its body, where its head used to be. I look away and throw up in my mouth. Dude, what the fuck? Colby says, what the fuck is right? Ashley says, sounding scared, let us leave. I wanna leave, please. This is fucked up. This shit is like real. Like what the fuck? We need to leave. It is the bunny from the trail. What are we waiting for? Ashley screams at us. I swallow my throw up and start walking to the door. The boys are standing there staring at it. As I walk away, I start to lose sight of them. It is so dark that I do not know how people would navigate without a source of light. And it is so quiet, almost peaceful. Wait a fucking minute. It is so quiet. What happened to the wind? My heart drops to my stomach, and a pit joins it. It is like we all notice it at the same time. The silence. Deafening. No rubbing of tree branches. No bugs. No hum of electricity. No sound of shoes on the floor. And most definitely no wind. Myers, wow, Colby says. Can we go now? Ease asks Ashley. I pan my flashlight around to each of their faces. My heart is beating so loud, it is filling the silence. Chill. Vincent says, do not freak yourself out. Okay, it is probably nothing. Let us go. Okay, you are right. This was a mistake. He takes a step back, and as he does, I see a figure in the back, hidden in the darkness. Take a step behind him. The figure smacks Vincent's phone out of his hands and onto the floor, silencing my heartbeat from my ears. Miters. Holy fuck. Wait, what? Vincent. Ashley screams. We all panic, getting closer to each other. Just then the sound of footsteps on the floor running. No sprinting towards us. Colby yanks me out of the way, but he is not fast enough to grab. Ashley, the figure running, picks her up in a single swoop, and I hear her cry out. As her voice gets more and more distant, Ashley starts to say, as Colby covers my mouth with his hand. We back up into the darkness, moving as quickly and quietly as we can. Suddenly the floor underneath my feet is gone, and we fall right into the hole in the floor, slamming my head against the cold, damp cement floor. I knock myself unconscious. I wake up to the sound of sobs and screams. It is not dark anymore. The main room of the building is lit by candles burning and surrounding me. Us in a circle. We are all tied up, bound by our hands and feet, sitting next to each other. 3 hooded figures stand far enough away. The candle light is not showing their face. What do you fucks want with us? Colby yells. Yeah, please let us go. Begs Ashley. One of the men steps forward and into the candle light. A bald man who looks to be 60 is carrying the head of the rabbit, the blood still dripping on the floor. He holds the head above each of us, while muttering under his breath. The blood is dropping onto my face. Warm, wet, sticky, the metallic smell filling my nose. I gag and cry, and shake and all the things. After they put the blood on Colby, mine, and Ashley's heads and faces, they stop at Vincent. One of the hooded figures step forward. A short, fat, hairy man in his 40s reaches out a hand towards Vincent. He mumbles something under his breath. Vincent, crying, looks at us and back at him, and takes his hand. Tears streaming down his face. He says, I cannot do this. Please do not make me do this. Please, they are my friends, you assholes. The last robed man steps forward, and the strong stench of cigarettes follows him. It is the man from the gas. He grabs Vincent's shoulder and says, Vincent, we talked about this. Think of your mother, your sister. Do it for them. I promised you something, and I would never break a promise. Vincent wipes away the tears and backs up into the darkness. Me, Vincent. Colby screams. What are you doing to him? What are you doing to us? Tears are gushing out of my eyes as I see the fear on Colby's face. Before Colby can say another word, his throat is slit, and blood is spewing out all over his clothes. He looks at me, his eyes widen with fear, and his body slumps over, to appease. They all say in unison. Just then Vincent returns with container of lighter fluid. He drops it to the floor as he falls to his knees. A blood-curdling scream escapes his lips. No, I told you not him. You told me you would not hurt him. Please do not. He is shaking and crying and holding Colby's limp body, his blood soaking onto Vincent's clothes. Cornell says something under his breath, and the other two drag Vincent away while he is kicking and screaming. Suddenly the screaming stops. I am shaking. My heart is shattered. I am so shocked I almost forget. Ashley is next to me until I hear a whimper and see her bloody and shivering, a piss stain showing on her pants. The two men return, one of them picking up the gasoline while the other picks up matches. They begin to make a ring around us, and just as they are about to light it, Cornell mumbles something to the other two, and they pick me up and untie me. I try to run over to Ashley, but they yank me back. No, wait, I want to see her, please. What are you doing to my friends, please? No. I can barely see through my tears. No, I can barely see through my tears. No. The bald man says, leave this town and do not ever come back. Before I can dispute, the circle around Ashley is ablaze, and she is screaming, screeching, crying. I cannot take it anymore, so I run. I leap out the window, fall to my knees, but I do not stop. I get up. The wind is back. It is whipping, the tears flowing down my face. My feet give under me, and I fall down the mountainside. I slam my head on the ground. My hands, and bloody and scraped. I do not stop. I get up. I am just at the car when I stop. I turn back around and look up. I can hear loud chanting, rhythmic, and a scream like I have never heard. Something deep, something guttural, primal, a howl of sorts, and then light, a bright flash of light, and then it is all gone. And suddenly, I can smell cigarettes. I get into Vincent's car. The thing is old. It barely stars, but it does, thank God. I sit there for a second, looking up at the building, and then I scream. I slam my hands on the horn. I cry, and I cry. I slam on the gas, and do not stop, until I am out of the valley, out of the town, until I am back in my town. I show up at my local police station covered in blood. I tell them everything, and they write it down, and speed away. Sirens on. Backup arriving, the whole 9 yards. They do not find anything but a circle of dust and ash on the ground. The police told the parents what happened, and I've been questioned multiple times, although my story never changed. They have held 3 funerals, but I did not attend Vincent's. I could not and will never enter that town again. I did not attend anyone's. So now I am here, alone, haunted by the memories of that terrible night, in a fuck ton of therapy, on the news, in pain and suffering. I just do not understand why they did not kill me. I wish they would have ended it all and killed me. Please kill me. Nobody believes me, but I know what happened. It all happened in that fucking valley. That's it for tonight's stories. But the nightmares never end. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a scary experience of your own? Share it in the comments. I just might feature it in a future video. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, some things are scarier than they seem in the dark.